Our garden is in a time of transition right now. All the spring flowers need to come out, as well as the spring weeds. Our weeds just got out of control in the last couple of weeks, mostly because we haven't had the time to go out and weed. But we also got a lot of rain, and that really helped the weed production. We thought we would just show you a little bit of the reality of our garden.
It's easy for the weeds to hide, and so when you look at the garden, sometimes it looks really good from, certain angles, but if you look down deep...
Do not be deceived. This is what you find. It's nothing new to find large weeds thriving in the middle of a bed.
Right in the middle of the phlox.
Yeah. We do like to save a lot of seed. A lot of spring flowers, if you let them go to seed, they will just come back every year. If you don't mind the hodgepodge look, that's fine. But you can also just save seed heads from larkspur, nigella, all the other stuff, poppies, whatever. Here we have allium, right? And so all those little spikes have a seed on them. So we're just trying to get some more started. Last spring we saw... I think we weeded out all the allium, not knowing what it was. We did this last year too.
Looks like tiny little onions.
Yes, it comes up looking like onions, and where did we get all these onions in our flower bed? Oh,
allium seeds.
Yeah, that's kind of it's a fun thing to do. I would like to try to save a bunch of seed from year to year.
Right. A lot of the spring flowers do better if they're in place, like if they just where they fall when they naturally would. So like right now when all the seed heads are sort of ripening. Because a lot of them need to start in the fall. I'm thinking larkspur, buplorum, some of those, they do better if they overwinter. So this is a good time. If you're weeding, take the old seed heads if you have a border like this, or if you just want to save some seeds. And you can actually transplant them later too. But just take the heads and just sort of scatter them throughout.
You almost have to have a spot where you can just let stuff naturalize.
Right, if you're going to do that.
We planted a currant tomato this year, and I am just fascinated by it. But it also just went crazy in all the rain we got. So we're going to have to...
And we didn't stake it, so I'm not sure. We are really bad about getting some stuff. There's certain parts of the season where it's really hard to kind of stay ahead of all the stuff that needs to happen. And this year we've had a few distractions, so we've been just a little bit more
lax with our chores.
Very lax. Yeah. But it makes for a day where you can go out and just clear the garden and feel like you got so much done too.
Right. And we're going to clear out all that foxglove you saw. We just pulled it out. We're working on a bed that we didn't touch this year yet. This is back on the back part of the garden. Haven't needed it yet. We were going to plant sunflowers in it, and we finally started some in trays to plant out. It's the middle of July, but that's one thing that just didn't get done either.
Right. There was some larkspur in here too, but a lot of weeds.
We left that in. This is the fun weeding. We like to wait until after a good rain so the soil is loosened, because we have really hard clay soil here, and then...
Well, this is actually the best soil on the property, but yeah, we do. In some places we have really, really bad clay. And I shouldn't say bad clay. Clay is good because it holds nutrients and moisture and stuff, but if it dries out, it's like impossible to pry weed roots out of there.
We took a couple of videos to show you our garden fails, so we're going to take you through those too. Something ate our cabbage.
I think it was a naughty little rabbit. Oh, look at that apocalyptic zinnia bed.
Zinnia wasteland. We planted them out just before. Well, we had to wait too long because it was too cold.
They were root bound when they went out.
Planted them out, and then we got hit with a heat wave, and it killed them all. This is for Nunculus, in case you can't tell. I think probably half our bed looked like this.
Oh, it was so bad.
And we'd like to say it was aphids, but we're not sure.
Right.
And some very hairy, weedy borders. I don't think we trimmed the edge of our garden until about July. But hey, we did the best we could. Gardening is both. It's lots of weeds, it's pretty flowers, it's back-breaking work, it's the fun of making bouquets. It's all of it. There's a lot of juxtaposition when you're gardening. Beauty and hard work.
Plenty and waste.
Plenty and waste, and lots of waste. Many of our flowers just went to the compost this spring.
Right, but at least we are composting.
I know.
Like other years,
nothing's wasted.
We have just sort of dumped them. Didn't think we had the time to compost. But
here's a quote for a t-shirt. Nothing is wasted when you compost.